We're back, and we're excited to be here for hour number 2 of We Are Live today. Welcome back from the holiday break. We got Travis in New York, the three of us, Gardner, Tommy, myself, here in St. Louis at Midcoast Studio. We discussed a lot of Tommy's break and the hilarity that ensued with a car issue. Maybe we could get Tommy a golf cart. You know where he could get it? Getaway Carts. That's right. Customized without limits. That's getawaycarts.com for the website. Hashtag carte blanche, and again, hashtag customize without limits. If you want to cruise around and not deal with Eugene hitting on your mom, be sure to hit up Getaway Carts. Let Joe know that We Are Live sent you, everybody. Excited to be back. Travis had a great time in New York over the 4th. I enjoyed myself here, sticking Tommy up in a tree. We did have a huge win over the weekend for the United States women's soccer team. Did you see this, Travis? I don't think you were paying attention, were you? Frozen. What do you know? Travis silent on women's issues.
Crazy.
Yeah, big surprise. No, huge congrats to.
There he is.
There they are. Travis, did you get caught up in? I'm sure New York was buzzing. It's with the women's soccer team winning yesterday. Did you get caught up in any of the madness and the fun that was their run?
Run.
I had the chance to. I've enjoyed this women's soccer team. Megan Rapinoe, who of course was the first professional athlete outside the NFL to support Colin Kaepernick. She's been an activist for quite a long time. She's been very outspoken on several issues. Specifically equal pay for the women's soccer team in comparison to the men's. And she is easily one of the best, and according to the tournament she just had, the best soccer player on the planet. And it's hard not to not like this team because they are so inspirational, incredibly talented, outspoken, and I think they're the breath of fresh air we've been looking for quite some time. We needed something to unite around as a country. And these group of women have not only represented themselves well, but they've represented this country well. And I think they just, aside from them knocking out the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place teams in the tournament, and the host team, which was a favorite in France, to see them just completely dominate this World Cup. They did not trail at any point throughout this tournament. And it was truly something that I think that this country needed, even just for just a brief moment, as far as, okay, there is something that we as a country can unite around. And it felt like this was the team to do it. It was very fun to watch. And it was cool to hear yesterday that they're going to have a ticker tape parade here in New York, in Manhattan on Wednesday. And you better believe I'll be there, Walnuts.
You gonna go? I feel like that's gonna be insanity. A giant parade in New York. It's gonna be wild.
Never seen that before. I've never gone to a ticker tape parade, and it's New York, and it's the women's soccer team. And again, it's something that you can get behind. It's a team of women who, I honestly believe, if you have a child, doesn't matter if it's a son or your daughter, they can look up to. And these women have just absolutely carried themselves with great poise and under so much pressure. Imagine being the athlete Megan Rapinoe is, and talking cash money shit, rebuffing the president of the United States, and then going out there and then absolutely dominating the World Cup, winning MVP and the Golden Spikes. Like, that is as badass as it comes. The Golden Boot, excuse me. But that's as badass as it comes. I think everyone was like, you need to shut your mouth until you win something. And she scored another goal, and she was MVP, and she led them to the championship. So I think it was also a little bit odd seeing people root against her, thus rooting against America. But I don't think I'm willing to give those people the energy today. I think all the energy goes towards those women and the amazing job that they did in this tournament, and they deserve all the praise and glory they get for days to come. And I hope they also get some love in regards to equal pay. Now, what we're watching on the screen is left been posted by my good friend Chris Gardner. This is apparently Bleacher Report put this out. Now, I
I
think
saw
Bleacher
it.
Report was maybe being funny. I think. I don't know. It's confusing, but there's a
So
lot going
describe
on in
it.
this photo. So, of course, what you see up front is the amazing women from the United States women's soccer team,
Some of them,
and
not all
and
of them.
they're in not all of them. They're in all their glory, and then behind them, a random group of I think mostly American celebrities. I think everyone that's in that photo is American.
Who do you see in there, Tommy?
But
I see Ben McKenzie. I see Taylor Swift. I see Iron Man. I see Captain Marvel. Wait, hold on.
I see.
I-
Eric
I think
Stone
that-
I
Street.
see.
I think who's next to Iron Man?
Obama.
I see
No,
all
that's
of the
not
friends.
Obama. That's Will Smith.
No,
Of course, he racist as hell.
Obama's in the photo.
No,
Obama's in the photo.
I think I know who you're looking at. That's not
Obama's
Obama.
in the photo. Where is Obama?
No, he's not. That's
Oh,
not Obama. I
Jay-Z.
just don't remember his name.
I assumed Obama was in the
God,
photo.
Chris.
You just said Obama
Oh,
was
God,
Jay-Z.
Chris.
Uh,
You got.
Steve
Well, you
Carell.
know
I don't
what?
think
You know
that's
what?
Steve
It's about
Carell.
time he
That's
should
Steve
be.
Carell.
Steve
That is
Carell.
racist as hell.
No, it's not even
But
Steve
that Steve
Carell.
Carell is Michael Scott.
And
That's
that's
Michael
and it's
Scott.
and it's
Gotten-
not even Eric Stone Street, is it? It's
Right next
it's
to him.
Cam.
Right next to him is Gotten
And then it's
Matarazzo.
Dustin from Stranger Things.
Gotten Matarazzo.
Is that
Who is right next to
Is that-
Iron
who is-
Man?
That's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise and Will
Carmelo.
Smith?
Top Gun.
that-
Okay, I wasn't sure because I thought it was a Hemsworth.
Is that
So
Carmelo?
then it wouldn't have been all
Carmelo's
American.
not in there.
Below
LeBron's
Iron
not-
Man is the cast of Friends.
Zac Efron.
The cast of Friends.
Zac Efron, Ellen, the other girl from Stranger Things, next to Gatton Maserati.
Oprah's in there.
Yeah, she is.
Oprah's in
Miley
there. Is that Carrie
Cyrus?
Underwood on the far right? Why is Carrie Underwood in here?
That's not
Far
Carrie Underwood. That's
right.
Kim Kardashian. You racist.
Then there's J. Cole. I don't know. How did J. Cole get in this?
I don't
Why is
know.
Zac Efron?
The
in
girl
the
from
middle?
the Hunger Games.
Jennifer Lawrence is there.
Yeah, that's.
Brad Pitt.
What?
Brad Pitt's in it.
This is so
Ellen.
confusing.
Queen Bed.
Then who's the? I'm
Oh,
drawn up
Rick
like
Grimes
is
is in
that,
it.
is that? Is he really? Where?
He's
Billie Jean King.
do you see him? In
I
there?
see Billie Jean King.
Where is he?
Is that the cast of Modern Family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Why?
Now,
See-
He's right above the cast from Modern Family.
now they're talking about who the snubs are. Like, how could you leave so and so off this?
But what does
no,
it
no,
even
no, no,
mean?
no, no,
Candace
no,
Parker
no.
made the list.
Candace Parker's in there? Oh, this is
Yeah,
hilarious.
she's at the top. She's next to Captain Marvel.
Why?
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 Oh, that's Baker Mayfield in the back. I was wondering who they got.
I could
It's
just
Baker
stare at,
Mayfield.
I could stare at this for 2 hours, I
Yeah.
think, and just look at it over and over, and just ask myself questions over and over.
What is that? Andy Sam? Or is
Yeah,
that
it's Andy
Samberg?
Samberg. Yes,
It is Andy Samberg.
most
What?
certainly is.
See,
I don't understand
Ferrell
like
and-
why they only have half the cast of Stranger Things in there. Why not the entire cast of Stranger Things?
Well, 'cause
Why
Ellen-
just those two? Why the
because
redheaded girl and Dustin?
Ellen had to be in between LeBron and Beyonce and next to Kobe.
A lot of Stranger Things aren't American.
Oh, so wait, but no, not all these.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, maybe. Oh, so wait, no, Caleb McLaughlin. He's black. He's an African American. He should be in it.
What?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
but I don't think he's American.
What's happening?
I don't know that everyone in here is American.
I don't either.
Oh,
Is that Kid Cudi? What a delightful picture. Everyone is in this.
Like, why did we? Why though?
I think
Explain.
Bleacher Report did this to be funny,
But they
and I
didn't
think
make
people
it.
didn't understand. But this is pretty hilarious.
What? Like at first,
Because
I
the
was like,
cast of Modern Family, I don't even understand that. It's not
You
even
guys
the
see
entire
that,
cast.
You guys see that Will Ferrell
the
is next to
entire-
Taylor Swift?
yeah.
yeah, and Miley Cyrus.
Oh, that's who that is.
Oh,
The entire cast of
Uh,
Friends made it. I don't understand that.
It's very American.
My
Are these the
favorite-
are
my
these the
fa-
last of the problematic Americans? Maybe that's what it is.
I don't
Maybe
know.
these are the last of the problematic Americans because there's no one problematic on here.
see, I thought at first I didn't realize it was from Bleacher Report at first, and then I thought like a conservative site
What is
made it to
Bleacher
be like,
Report?
look, it's a giant sports website.
report.
Or content provider even. I don't know how you'd say what they are, but I thought this was something of being like, look at the liberals that support this soccer team. But I mean, while that may be the case, like but it's characters and it's so strange.
No.
It's so strange.
How
Is
does
that-
Iron Man make it and not Captain America? That's odd.
In that back row, completely opposite Taylor Swift. Who is that?
Uh-huh.
Angelina Jolie.
Okay, here's my question here. So, like, they have, like, Angelina, even in the picture, Angelina Jolie almost as far away from Brad Pitt as possible.
Yeah.
And in the middle is
Oh,
Jennifer
it sure is.
Aniston.
Oh
is that
my
some
gosh.
storytelling there that I'm not aware of?
Wow, that is good storytelling. That is solid.
Huh.
That is very good.
Who's next to Michael Scott?
How does Michael Scott make it and not Dwight Schrute,
Dwight's
who's one of the
holding-
greatest Americans of all time?
Yeah.
How do you go with Friends when it was just the 30th anniversary of the debut of Seinfeld?
Oh,
Well, there's Eva Longoria. I just realized Eva Longoria's there.
that's where.
Who's between Kendrick
She's at the bottom.
Lamar
I think,
and Jay-Z?
I think Eva Longoria.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that either. I thought it was the kid from Harry Potter, but it's not.
I don't know who that is.
I think Eva Longoria
Is
has
it Devon
been.
Sawa?
I think it is.
No.
I think it
Between-
may
no.
be. Chris.
No, that's who I'm thinking of. Who it is? That's exactly the person I'm thinking of.
Who's
All
next to Oprah?
Um,
I don't know.
I don't know who the guy next to Oprah is.
That
I
has-
thought it is that I
it
maybe
has
I'm
to
wrong.
be an athlete.
I thought it was Beto
I don't think it's an
O'Rourke.
athlete.
No, I think it's an
Yeah, that
athlete
would've been funny.
because you could see the Nike emblem on the shirt that he's wearing.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's an athlete, and I'm not sure. I know Landon Donovan's in there, and then there's another soccer player up top, and I can't remember his name.
Are all these people that it's look, there's a theme, and I'm glad Bleacher Report took it down because now we get to play around with this and figure out why they came up with this list of people. It's something about their accomplishments in 2019 that has these people on here, right? So Friends, of course, got a lot of love because of the Netflix thing. They got paid big time because Netflix re-upped with Friends. LeBron moved to LA. Kendrick Lamar,
What's
Jay-Z.
Kobe done?
Rick Grimes
Didn't Kobe
is
win the
American.
Academy Award? Or was that last year?
Oh, okay, that's fair.
But the thing is, they deleted the tweet, which makes it more ominous.
Which is brilliant. Is that Travis Kelce next to Angelina Jolie?
I don't
Who is
know.
that in the hat?
All right, I've got
So here's another thing.
How many do you think you can name, Chris?
Oof.
90% of them. I mean, there's several. I don't
Oh, that's
know.
good. That's really good, Chris. I mean, I'm including the women's soccer team too, Chris.
Oh no,
Oh.
I can't name any. I've
Not-
named one of them.
Not
Hang on, right, here we go.
There's Julie Ertz,
Front row is
Alex
the
Morgan.
United States women's national soccer team. So we have Brad Pitt, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Ellen DeGeneres, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Stu Holden. Who's Stu
He's
Holden?
a soccer player.
Googling. Oh, okay.
Stu Holden is the man next to Jay-Z.
Okay.
And then let's see, where were we at? Oh, son of a gun. Stu Holden. And then who's next to Stu Holden?
A black gentleman.
That's Kendrick Lamar.
That's Kendrick Lamar. Cast of Modern Family. Then Eva Longoria.
Zac Efron's in there too.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron in
I'm
the
reading
middle.
this from a website. Oprah Winfrey, Christian
Okay.
Pulisic.
Pulisic.
Who's that?
He is like the next big thing for men's soccer. in this
Okay, gotcha. Next to Gotten Mazzarato, Matarazzo is, they think it's Sadie Sink. Who's Sadie Sink?
I think that's the other girl.
Is that
from
Max
Stranger
from
Things.
Stranger
Yeah.
Things? Landon Donovan, Andy Samberg, Carrie Underwood. They don't know. Who's next to Carrie Underwood?
I think that's Kid Cudi.
Okay.
I
Who's-
think. I don't know.
Who's the lady in?
Oh no, that's
between-
Travis Scott. Is that Travis Scott?
Yeah,
Scott.
that's Travis Scott.
That's
Baker
Travis
Mayfield.
Scott. Okay.
Clint Dempsey,
Clint Dempsey's the
Dempsey,
other
soccer
soccer player.
player.
I was thinking of.
Serena Williams,
Right.
Billie Jean King. It says Zach
Yes.
Ertz.
Oh, that is Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
he
Okay,
tight
Zach
end?
Ertz. Who's,
Yeah, but
whose
his wife's
wife,
on the women's
Oh.
team.
Julie Ertz. Yeah, she's one of the better players of the team.
So who's the woman in between Michael Scott and Jennifer Lawrence?
I feel like isn't that Sue Bird?
Is it? I can't tell.
I think that's Sue Bird, who
Okay, that
would
would
be
make
Megan
sense.
Rapinoe's wife. That would be
Sue
her
Bird.
wife.
Okay, good call.
Okay.
Wait, Sue Bird,
Then behind
the
her-
WNBA player?
Yeah.
WNBA player. That's the wife of Megan Rapinoe. That's it. Yeah, she
Yeah.
wrote a very cool article last week about in the Athletic about how the president was going after her wife.
It was like the president hates my girlfriend or something like that, or wife
I-
or something like that.
I have a question. Are all of these
Mhm.
characters, in our minds, American actors also playing American characters?
Tom has a good question. Tom
I'm
Brown
trying-
wants
I'm
to know
trying to
why
figure it
the
out.
cast of How I Met Your Mother isn't in this.
Because
Good question.
Yeah.
That's
not
a good
all,
question.
because if we're going by all of the actors are American, that's not true because Rick Grimes is in there, and Andrew Lincoln
I
is very
feel
British.
like this is the I think the American government's way of saying this is who we save when all ish hits the fan. And you know what?
Okay.
I don't mind that. I would want to save all these
Tom
people too.
Cruise.
Yeah, you're gonna need a guy to do a lot of running.
Yeah, and riding motorcycles with his shirt off. He's really good at that.
Yes.
And aging backwards.
Yes.
Oh, that's the wrong guy.
Oh.
That's Brad
You
Pitt.
need a
He's
Scientologist.
in there.
If you're gonna have somebody in there, you gotta have
Somebody's
at least
got to
one
take us to the
Scientologist.
mothership.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, this has been a confusing
Whew.
analyzation.
That was
Alright,
fun.
That was
Yeah.
That was fun.
20 minutes later.
That was fun. A
Wow.
lot has happened. I don't even know where you guys want
who
to
put
start
that
because
picture up?
we did have a lot
Let me,
happen last week.
We did, and we've all had a fun time, and hopefully we have a renewed sense after Sean's video. I kind of want to just turn this into we're a production team and follow Sean around instead of doing We Are Live 5 days a week. I just want to repeat that. If you guys haven't seen that, it's an amazing video. Check out our Twitter feed. Real quick, let me tell you about Tommy Bannister, Circa Properties. If you're looking to buy or sell your home in the St. Louis area, our man Tommy will take good care of you. Their offices are in Tower Grove, right over by where I live. Very nice place. Pop in there, enjoy some AC, and learn how Tommy Bannister can help you buy or sell your home today. That's right. Tommy Bannister supports We Are Live, so you support him. Travis, let's
Do people
play.
get freaked out do people get freaked out when Tommy shows up as a Bitmoji?
Yeah. He walks in. It's like, is this a Black Mirror episode? What's happening? He does. And he's got like a funky walk too when he does it. Yeah, it's weird, man.
He
Travis.
only speaks in air bubbles.
Exactly. Travis, real quick. Not real quick. We can talk about it as long as you want. It's the most interesting thing in sports. NBA free agency is unbelievable. I got to give it to the league that captured my heart until Jordan retired. And this, the free agency stuff that happens in the NBA, if baseball doesn't make a rule that they have to follow this to a T, I'm quitting liking baseball. This was unbelievable, and it's not quite done yet, but wow, lots happened in NBA free agency. I know you're super pumped about it. If you want to go over it, I know your Lakers.
I'll be quick. No, yeah, we don't have to spend too much time on it because I know a lot of our listeners don't necessarily follow the day-to-day in the NBA. But as far as off-season antics, this offseason has provided just that type of drama. And you have a players-ran league, so to speak. People freak out at the idea that the players make their own decisions and dictate where they want to have their careers and where they want to move their families.
Empower the
and this
worker.
freaks out the fan base. The power of the worker is absolutely it. And this is the beauty of it. You found yourself in a situation where Kawhi Leonard had to choose between the Toronto Raptors, the Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers. And Kawhi said, you know what? I'm going to change the balance of the entire league. And I'm going to find a way to get Paul George to the Clippers. And I'm going to go to the Clippers. And we're going to just battle it all out. And that's what happened. Kawhi Leonard basically waited until the 11th hour to orchestrate a trade to get OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder, to trade Paul George to the Clippers, which then allowed Kawhi Leonard to sign a free agent deal, 4 years, $142 million with the Los Angeles Clippers. A lot of people thought that maybe he was going to end up with the Lakers to join Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But now you have a situation where you have brought back, Chris, the NBA Jam style dynamic duos around the league. So now you have a great duo in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the Clippers. You have a great duo in LeBron James and Anthony Davis with the Lakers. You look around the league and you see other big powerhouses. As with the trade, you can see Russell Westbrook join James Harden in Houston.
Wait. When did that happen?
A league. This hasn't happened officially, but there's
Oh.
talk now that Russell Westbrook was being entertained in a trade that he's going to want out of Oklahoma City, and that one of the early suitors to perhaps try to
Mm-hmm.
get one Russell Westbrook could be the Houston Rockets. But what Kawhi ultimately did, he brought parity to the entire league with just one move. There isn't a massive favorite going into the 2019-2020
Just stop it.
season.
Are you pissed off that he didn't go to the Lakers?
Yeah, he's playing it real cool.
Disappointed, but I cannot be. I honestly
He slow
can't
played
be
it too. He
pissed.
screwed him over. We're reading
Dude,
all the
it's still-
reports.
He did that on purpose, right? So basically, if you're
Oh,
not into
definitely.
the NBA, Kawhi Leonard just won a title with the freaking Toronto Raptors, which is not. It's never been done, and he's the reason. He is the reason they win all the way. You've got two of the best players in the league, in Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, out for a year with injuries, so that makes things more parity driven. And then you have free agency in the NBA. The way that works, like they have to spend their money, and there's only so many people that they can spend that money on. Kawhi slow played it. And I don't know if he could have actually been legitimately thinking it over, but whatever he did, whoever he wasn't going to go to that thought they were going to get him was going to be hurt because there's no other dance partners at his level that they could go off after instead, right? Did I do it okay there? Does that make sense? And it was
Yeah, I mean, Kawhi
cold-blooded,
Leonard,
whether
but
he meant to or not.
like I said, this is what happens when it's a player-driven league, and the players can absolutely dictate where they want to go. And Kawhi orchestrated it. Look, it was. I think this upcoming season is going to be fun. And to answer Gardner's question, no, I'm not pissed because the Lakers still have Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
I'm upset.
I would have loved Kawhi. I would have loved Kawhi to be able to join the Lakers. Then they would have been the definitely the favorites starting the season. But
Then you would have
I'm
gone and
fine with
bought
the way
these.
it ended up. Mm.
You would have bought some New Balance Kawhi Leonards when
Those
he
aren't
was on the
bad,
Lakers.
by the way. Those aren't bad shoes. Like
Oh.
I can definitely
They're
wear those at
sensible.
the gym. I would wear those. They're very sensible. They're
They're
nice looking
comfortable.
tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Comfort,
look comfortable.
fashion.
By the way, I want to
I-
add something to my bucket list real quick. I want to go New Balance shoe shopping with this gentleman, just so you know.
Oh my. Hello.
Steve Ballmer, the owner of the LA Clippers, of course, founder of Microsoft. Good for the LA Clippers. Good for the city of LA now becoming the mecca of professional basketball. Congratulations to the folks here in Brooklyn who will now be able to see Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Probably won't see Kevin Durant until sometime until 2020. There's a possibility he could show up on the court next year, but he's dealing with an
Better
Achilles,
not.
so that's going to probably take a full year to recover. Klay Thompson, of course, dealing with an MCL, which is going to keep him out for about 70% of the season, but he plans on returning towards the second half of the Warriors. They're still going to be good. They were able to pick up D'Angelo Russell, who was the point guard here for the Brooklyn Nets. So the league is definitely going to have more parity. I think that's the cool thing about what happened with free agency. There's no serious favorite out the gate when the season starts, and everyone has an opportunity.
I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I can't be too hard on you, Travis, because while your Lakers got KO'd in the free agency run for Howie, there was a record-breaking KO that hurt a guy.
Oh, boy.
That's been one of my favorites to watch, and we've got a unique connection, being his age and being in Columbia at the same time as him. He won 2 national titles at the University of Missouri, represented the United States at the Beijing Olympics, and I've long said we've got personal ties. He's a co-owner of Thoroughbred Wrestling Academy here in town.
Just say your boy got his
with
ass
Marcus
beat, man.
Hayne,
I don't know why you up
and
here.
he talked
Just go
his
ahead and
way
say your
to
best
it.
friend got his ass
He
kicked
talked his
on
way
national
to
television.
it, and he got caught with some massive disrespect. Jorge Masvidal gets the fastest knockout in UFC history.
I got the video.
Against one
Thanks, Gardner. Pop it up.
Ben Askren.
Here we go. Here's the video.
Don't blink, people.
In the
Watch this,
building,
Tommy.
And these guys just flapping gums at each other. Any chance they get. The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
Brutal.
How did that
I'm guessing Gardner didn't get it, but there's a video that he was working on that, Masvidal, and they scouted him so well He was literally preparing to do that. That was planned,
Yeah.
and they had picked
Looked
that
planned.
off. There was an issue, and here's the deal with MMA, and we don't have to go super long on this. Had he been a half inch off and it just grazed him and didn't connect the way it connected, he loses that fight probably in the first round. That's how it works.
Yeah, 'cause he would've
would've
gone
got
over
drugged.
him.
And the guy and Ben.
That's
what
what
he
it
was
would have
doing
looked like if
was gonna
Tommy
grab
tried to
his
get out of the
legs.
tree himself.
I'm telling you, he took a calculated risk, and oh my God, he hit a grand slam. Oh my God! If he misses that, he risks getting. You
we see
can't
that
get
again?
Ben Askren off you. It's unbelievable.
If David
what he can do.
Freeze swings a half second late, it's a fly out to center field. If like we can play this, if you move your head half inch to the left, half inch
Ben
to the right,
Askren is the one
your
who
boy
got
talk
knocked out, right?
your boy talk mad shit, and your boy got his ass whooped.
All right,
And
one
he's
more
In a
handling it
time.
well.
record-setting time.
All right.
One more time.
I
Here you
gotta
go.
watch this again. I gotta see what he did.
You gotta
I
watch
wasn't
this.
sure.
In the
Watch the
building.
knee, Tommy.
And these
Okay.
guys just flapping gums at each other. Any chance they get. The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
Jesus Christ.
Never helps when Joe Rogan screams. No!
Well, and then
My favorite part
powerful.
is the Hobbs and Shaw advertisement and the Monster
Yes.
Energy advertisement.
Yes.
now
How beautiful is
afterwards,
that?
I do have some of the news conference afterwards too. What's Jorge Masvidal was asked a few questions.
Cuban
here.
American Joey Diaz retweeted, quote tweeted, and said, "F white privilege. He's got immigrant mentality." Joey Diaz chirping for his
Of course,
fellow
he's
Cuban
Joey
American.
Diaz's favorite fighter. Of course.
Here you go.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary.
They
Maybe
were super necessary.
why were they
There you
necessary?
go. Nice.
What do you mean? Why were they not necessary?
Because he was already knocked out at that point.
But the referee hadn't pulled me off, and my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I
That's
would
true.
say maybe don't watch MMA, go back to soccer.
I love that
I
line.
saw some other criticisms, perhaps, of your celebration afterwards. Any regrets at the celebration or your behavior in the cage afterwards?
Man, there's not too many people that I've disliked. I have over 50 pro fights, and he's one of them. He talked about my manhood, talked about my culture, my ethnicity. Where do we draw? Why do certain people get to do stuff? You online, so you could do anything. Everything is cool before a fight. You're allowed to do and say whatever you want, like other fighters are not doing. Talking about people's religions, wife, even kids. That's cool, but after a fight, I'm not allowed to showboat and rub it in your face. So you and guys like you could see it and be like, maybe I don't talk so much shit because when I cross one of these
Yes.
motherfuckers, they're gonna make me pay for it, man. They're gonna embarrass the shit out of me, and it's not over for Ben either. He still has to deal with me. If I see him at Whole Foods, I'm gonna still slap that dude up 'cause I don't like it.
Oh, nice shout out to Whole Foods.
See him
Let's
at
see
a
him at
Whole
Whole
Foods. It shows that he eats well. Jorge Masvidal did this.
If I see him at the hot bar at Whole Foods when we're both getting roasted chicken,
his
I'm gonna fuck him up.
His last fight, he knocked out, and Masvidal's been around, and he's probably going to get a title shot soon now, but he knocked out Darren Till, who's a mouthy, super talented young English fighter, and then afterwards gets into a fight with a guy backstage who tried to talk smack to him. Masvidal is not here to get talk smack to, but what he said when he hit the guy backstage by the name of Leon Edwards, he said he tried to order with his mouth, and I gave him that 2-piece and a soda, 3-piece and a soda from Popeyes, and he didn't want it. And he's so quick and he's so entertaining, and yeah, he made.
And where did he start, Chris? Where did Masvidal start? Where did he get his great
Streets
start?
of Miami, literally the streets of Miami, and people became aware of him, literally fighting in YouTube videos with Kimbo Slice. Like, that's who you're dealing with here. Like, that's what he's doing. He's a killer.
I think whether you can still be a Ben Askren fan and enjoy what he said at the end of that part of this clip
Yes.
that Gardner played. And I think it's something, Chris, you've spoke on this. We've said it 100 times on this show. Sometimes you need to piece somebody up to let them know that this shit ain't for play. And I think what he said there was perfect. Like, you can be the character that Ben Askren is. That's fine, because Ben Askren is trying to sell tickets. He's building his own brand.
By the way,
he's a personality. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brought a ton of business
I think,
to the UFC also.
Sure. But I think there are also other guys who have put in a lot of work, that have put in a lot of fights, who who just are sick and tired of the people who come in, who grab a microphone, who do great on the podcast, and do great on interviews, getting all the love and attention. And he's tired of, and he makes the point of people disrespecting people where you don't have to. And I think there's a line with trash talking. You can trash talk, but I think once you start getting into the point of people's ethnicity or their family background, their kids, their loved ones, you know, the unique thing about MMA is that, okay, now I get to get in the ring and beat the shit out of you for talking that much trash.
Yeah, keep
And
it to
I
ring
absolutely understood where he came from. And you can tell that he was pissed off by some of the things that Ben has said, and he could not wait. And the guy loaded up and absolutely ruined his day. I had no problem with the celebration. I had no
No.
problem with him getting in his face. I had no problem with any of that. And I think he's right. Look, if you're going to talk that shit, then he should be allowed to get in that octagon and do what he does best as well. And I hope that, I don't think it's going to be a message because there are just going to be a ton of trolls out there that are going to continue to do what they do. But I hope people realize that when you talk that kind of shit and you got to get into someone's face, it's an entirely different situation. It's a different story. And so I'm glad he put that out there. And I think he won over a ton of fans that were just casual observers of his fights, of who he is. I know there are a ton of people over the weekend who said, yes, he needs a title shot, and I'll be there to watch it. I think if anything, not only did that performance help him solidify that, but that press conference put him over the top.
It certainly did, and it's a weird thing because seeing the villain or seeing someone that talks a lot of smack brings a lot of eyes to the screen as well. So here's Ben's Twitter. After he went to the hospital, he got a concussion. He's allegedly fine. He's actually going on Ariel Helwani's show today. His tweet that night, well, that sucked. This is who Ben is what I like. And then somebody actually said this. MMA, another fighter said, MMA is hard. Stop being a-holes when people lose. It takes a ton of balls to step in the cage. Ben quote tweets it and says, it's fine. I deserve it. Laughing emoji. Like, he knows, too. So I kind of enjoy that part of it, too. And if people are rushing in to say, like, Jorge celebrated too much or something, I think Ben would be the first one to be like, don't tell him not to celebrate. I feel like.
Characters. So, like, I imagine those guys are kind of like WWE characters where they have their offstage persona, but in the ring it's just real. That's the only difference.
And certain people are not here for a personality. And certain people you can't do that
I think he's right. I think if I'm Ben, I don't shop at Masvidal's Whole Foods in the next few months. I would perhaps maybe try Aldi's or try sending someone else to go get your groceries for the next 6 months. Because, look, I don't know the guy personally, but he sounds like a lot of people I grew up with in North City, in that, no, he doesn't seem to be just talking. He sounds like a guy that's, no, if I see you at Whole Foods and I approach you in the parking lot, it's on. So I would honestly, if I'm Ben Askren, I tread lightly around this guy because I think he's at the point where he is all out of fucks, as the kids say.
That'll do it, but very entertaining.
I got a question. So like if you're Ben Askren and you talk all this trash, you get knocked out. Say you get knocked out in the ring or you win in the ring, do you later send a message to whoever you were fighting?
Genuine.
Hey man,
it's usually over. It's usually over. But Masvidal and then Khabib are two people that have recently shown like they don't care if it's over or not because you've already crossed the line with them. 90% of the time it's over once a fight. You see people hug, move on. Rarely do you see that, and I think that's why they like Masvidal so much because he's keeping it real.
Right. I think the point, and you brought those two guys up, is the people that are talking don't necessarily get to decide when the line has been crossed,
and that's
what
the
that
game
means
you play
afterwards as well.
Yep.
Once you go there, that decision is out of your hands. That becomes the other people's decision then. So that's,
I think they understand.
So maybe
that.
that's like a conversation they should have backstage is, what's your line?
Well, what's
your line?
right.
So
do we have a safe word? Do we have a safe word?
No,
because I like shopping at Whole Foods. I want to be able to go there.
But do you see my point in being like, hey man, what's off the table? What can't I make fun of?
I think
you should know.
That's
the thing there, Tommy. You're an adult. These guys are adults. They know what is too far. Ben Askren's smart enough to know what's too far, and Ben Askren in the past, away with us, where he was in the what he meant to certain promotions. But that can fly with maybe 90% of people. A lot of people just be like, that's water under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's that 10% you have to keep an eye out for, because those people truly take those things personally. And I don't think it happened necessarily in this case, but when you insult people, when you insult people's loved ones, their children, where they come from, their religion, you're asking to get your ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
So again, talk all the trash you want, but for a guy like that coming where he came from, I don't think you want to give him added fuel. And so I think your strategy, and I think I saw a few commentators say this too, Chris, and tell me if I'm wrong. Some people said that from a strategic standpoint, that was foolish of Ben, because they say Masvidal has a tendency to sleepwalk through fights, and that sometimes he needs somebody to motivate him to be involved in fights. So they said it was a mistake for Ben to give that motivation, when if he just kept mouth shut and kept his head down, he probably comes out of the fight a winner.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the thing. That's not to a degree. That's fine, but then it's like, well, what are you giving up by not doing that? But that was far and away the most anticipated fight, and that was a fight where you had John Jones fighting for a title. John Jones is the greatest fighter in mixed martial arts. You had a women's champion against Holly Holm. You had Amanda Nunes fighting in a title fight. So, yes, you're right. Strategically, it could have, because Ben, by all accounts, most people picked him to just kind of more or less dominate the fight. Ben should have, I think he was the favorite, and he could have easily just rode out the win. But, yeah, maybe so, because that was such a flashy victory, and it's been proven through video that they literally planned that move for him to sprint over and do that immediately. So I don't know, maybe that provided the motivation to be like, okay, well, maybe we need to do something special, because I don't like this guy a lot. But he did say that post-fight. Rogan said, why the flying knee? Masvidal responded, because he's a bum. So there you go. There you have it. Very interesting. And, man, it's a nasty game they play.
Can I tell you about my favorite fight that I saw over the break?
No, let's not. Let's move on to.
It's actually one you'll like.
Make it quick.
45
Spider-Man
minute
versus
story
the
of
Elementals.
Tommy being stuck in a tree. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's from me. You can't spoil the movie.
I didn't. It's in the preview. Is he shaking his head at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head at you.
All right.
Travis. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What do we have? What do you have, Tommy? Tell us another cool.
Nothing. I just wanted to say I liked the movie. That's all I wanted to do, you dick. I also saw you tweeting about it, so I know you liked the movie.
I did enjoy the movie.
I'm gonna start a dialogue.
let's throw it over to Twitter. There is a melee, and if you haven't got to it during the show, you can get to it afterward. Gardner, what's your melee? This is very, very obviously you take very personal.
Oh yeah, it's a simple one. Is Lee Greenwood's "God Bless the USA" the worst song ever made? Yes. No. I'm proud to be an American. Are your options right there?
Vote on Twitter at We Are Live Radio. Sorry, go ahead, Trev.
No, gosh, I saw the poll this morning and I immediately voted. I've never voted yes so many times. Good God, I don't. Yeah,
it's just terrible. It's a terrible song. It elicits the biggest phoniness of patriotism.
I want Darryl Bell to give me a number
anymore in the jean shorts with the American flag bandana, the goatee, and the wraparound sunglasses, holding up his Natty Light can. And I just walk away, and I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I don't care about America. Because, and then someone texted me and they said Trump's going to win 2020 and make that the new national anthem. I go, I will take a knee. I will take a knee if you tried that game. No,
there you go, Gardner.
It's just not a good song. It's just a terrible song. It's disgusting.
Hey, man.
It's the worst of America.
Yes.
Whew, I feel good. I felt good.
That
and
felt
then
good?
someone tweeted at me that they used that in the finale of the fireworks downtown. Damn it!
Of course they did.
Damn it, Lida!
a quick overview. I did watch Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't want to get into it too much because it's still very new. My God, they do a great job on that show. That's just it. The nostalgia.
yeah.
They leaned hard on the nostalgia, and it's noticeable, and I don't care, and it's amazing. But just watch it if you're
I
into
think
it.
we're going to do a trav view of that this week, and I'm with you, Chris. I thought I Netflix does a very good job of releasing their shows at certain points in the year for more effect, and so people can sit down and binge watch it. I thought it was brilliant that they released this over the long 4th of July holiday. And to Chris's point, I think they leaned into the nostalgia, and I'm happy they did. I think they did a brilliant job of leaning into it appropriately, making it a part of the storyline. And it was one of those, you hear the term, you've always heard the term, and it's stupid, but I think it's the best way to describe it. It's a feel-good television show. It's just a feel-good, fun, emotional television show for the entire family. And I love the way they told the story this season. And I think the sweet spot, I think we're learning, if you're going to have shows like Stranger Things, 8 to 10 episodes. Anything more than 10, you're pushing it. But I thought with 8 solid episodes, well done. It didn't drag on. It wasn't any side stories. It stayed with the main characters. What you loved about season 1 of Stranger Things, they multiplied that in season 3. So I'm excited to try view that later this week.
We'll try view it tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
We'll do that
I
tomorrow.
like that they also, whenever they bring in new characters, they come into the fold really easy.
Yes. Great point.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
like, one of my favorite characters is a new character.
Okay, don't give away too much
Yeah.
because we're going to try view tomorrow.
Yeah, and real quick, just big shout out to friend of the show. We released a best of episode with David Harbour when we interviewed him 3 years ago. So if you want to go back and listen to that on iTunes, be sure to do that. But big shout out to him for putting a tall, husky mustache gentleman at the top of the food chain all summer long.
We'll talk about his shirt tomorrow, too.
Okay,
yeah,
we'll do that.
I
We'll do that.
We'll get into it.
We'll do that. Hey, Travis, I love your Nick Cage face-off thing. We've got face-off. Can you intro that for us, please?
Face off.
You ready?
Oh,
there you go. I got face off.
Gardner works hard to put this montage together. What do we have today, Gardner?
There you go. There's a compilation.
Oh, watch Travis. He's praying.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, is he
Thinking.
Oh, wow.
Mildly sleepy there. Like falling asleep. It looks like I was.
Oh, shocked.
Do I wear a different shirt ever?
Oh,
No.
he's shocked.
Wow.
Oh, he's wiping a...
This is from one episode. We've got 5 takes
I
of
think
Travis's
so.
face.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
look at those bangs.
Yeah, there's Tommy pulling the
Thank
bangs.
you. Look at those.
Oh, what's he doing? Oh,
Oh, you look disgusted.
What are you doing to Tommy's face, man?
He was petting me,
fixing
remember?
his hair.
Oh, no. Travis very upset with us.
Yeah.
Huh. Mortified.
Ah, yeah. I'm telling some sort of story.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
Chris said something
continually say-
racist.
Oh, my God.
That's why he's laughing.
Oh, I said something racist. You said.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. And
Okay.
yep, he
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
said the
yeah.
N-word. This is where Chris
Yep.
said the N-word. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, something caught.
That was
Sam.
the shirt.
That
He didn't like the
mustache.
shirt.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
sick of
no.
that face.
Take
in
it
the head.
easy.
There's my favorite one.
Jesus.
The mugshot.
From Rikers.
that's in the evening whirl.
Yes. St. Louis podcaster.
That's
tries
what he
to
looked
come
like
to New
watching
York.
the fireworks.
Yeah. When he was on his own plane.
Correct. Tommy
That
is
is
correct.
such a mugshot photo right there. Oh my. Oh.
Wow. Face off.
Do
One
with
of our
that as you
favorites.
will, folks.
That's true. Some of those faces, maybe you need to call St. Louis Counseling Services after you saw them. stlouiscounseling.org for services for individuals, businesses. Reach out if you need some counseling help or you need to implement a counseling program into your business or organization. Improving lives since 1955. And while you're at it, if you're looking for great conversation from the great Tom Duff of St. Louis Counseling, let's make that part of your subscribe list on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Gardner is a cantankerous fellow, and he even enjoys producing it. So great work to you as well, Gardner. Guys, it's been a very fun show. I don't know. Do we want to get into anything else, or do we want to do some topical fair or foul?
Real quick, I wanted to get this poll that I had put out over the weekend too, because it's 4th of July weekend, and you find yourself watching television at times. Like I was on break watching The Good Place a lot, but I did take some time to watch movies that I think you should watch during that time. I watched National Treasure and mentioned it on Twitter. I also watched National Treasure Book of Secrets.
But you would use that. You would be like, well, don't you think Arbor Day is a great day to watch National Treasure?
Yeah, whatever fits your agenda, basically.
Gotcha.
But I asked, which is a better movie to watch on 4th of July, Independence Day, Live Free or Die Hard, or National Treasure? Live Free or Die Hard, 11%, 27% National Treasure, 62% Independence Day.
So when I was at my 4th of July party, I was sitting next to Chris, and I saw this. I saw this poll, and I looked at Chris, and I was like, he's watching National Treasure, isn't he? And Chris was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
There's no question about
I
it.
think, you know what? Actually, I was having a conversation with my dad. No, not a conversation, but I was texting with my dad.
That's a conversation.
He goes to South Dakota every year to visit family. He'll spend like a week and a half up there, and it's in Custer. It's a whole different story about Custer and the history with my family, but we won't get into it right now. But so he goes up to right near Custer National Park, and I'm like, man, National Treasure Book of Secrets. They have Mount Rushmore, and they have, where did they film that lake scene where he puts his hand in the rocks to open the rocks up in that? And so I look it up, find Sylvan Lake. And I'm like, hey, Dad, have you ever been to Sylvan Lake in South Dakota? About 5 minutes later, he shoots 2 pictures back at me of him at Sylvan Lake in South Dakota. And I'm like, interesting. So I'm thinking, maybe when my dad goes, I might have to spend a couple days up there with him just so I could go to Sylvan Lake and see where they did some of the National Treasure Book of Secrets filming. Now, that's on my docket.
You're as
now.
bad as me.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy. You meeting Rob Lowe inspired me, you ass.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that's all I got.
Oh, that's wonderful. You want to do some topical fair or foul to close out the
As
show?
long as you say, that's wonderful again, just like you did.
That's wonderful. I'm a top.
That was the new good stuff right there. That's wonderful.
That is.
Hey,
I
really
like
quick,
you switching it up now.
Jeremy Helwig has a bit, and basically, I basically feel like I'm not giving it away. Basically, it's oh boy, is part of it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's you catch yourself saying certain things, and I need to be called out on that. So that's wonderful.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul? Is it a segment? Is it a movement? Is it hope? I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, Fair or Foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now time for Fair.
We give it back to you, the people.
Or Foul.
Was that the longest 4th of July weekend ever?
Yeah.
It really was, and it was needed too. I feel like no one worked.
I feel reinvigorated.
I sent a lot of emails out. I had some meetings get moved, everything like that. And I think we do a lot. Not even just at this company, but I think people need a break and people need to not think about things. So hopefully everybody got a few days off at least.
I beat the Ender Dragon in survival mode, and if you know, you know.
Good job, Tommy. You my dog.
Do you know what that means?
No. But you know what? I encourage you.
I also became a
encourage
top
everyone.
fan over the break.
And I'm a top fan. Fair or Foul, Travis, top fans on Facebook.
Yeah, let's dig into them.
Okay. There it is.
Not a badge of honor, you guys.
Man, I'm embarrassed. All the people I'm top fans of. I'm like, does anyone else interact with you? Like, I'm not going to be my friend who's a comics top fan. Like, that's weird.
Nathan Orton's top fan right here.
Right. No, it happened with Michael Costa and Ian, and I was like, this is embarrassing. Like, what? Just because I've liked a photo of theirs?
You've
Travis.
been up Ian Bag's butt forever.
Oh, that's true.
You
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Great one-on-one conversation last week. Check it out.
Yeah, it was really good.
Fair or Foul, Gardner, ponytails.
Well, I'm gonna say fair.
Okay. You're still liking it after wearing it in front of
I
people.
like it, Gardner. I think it looked great.
I think it's gonna be worn tomorrow. I don't see it ending anytime
Nice.
soon.
You're a
honestly.
practical guy. Do you mind if I
Nice.
call it fair or foul? Utilitail.
What you call whatever you want.
Can I call it a utilitail?
What's a utilitail?
It's what
The
you're
tail
working
of
with.
the
I feel like
utility.
you could use it for multiple things.
I'm picturing Gardner
What
on.
about it over the shoulder like that?
Knock
No.
it off.
I'm
got a little
picturing
wave
Gardner
to
on a scooter. He's driving down the street and the tail is just flailing behind him in the wind. Yeah.
Just a little.
Just straight out. Just straight out. Like a
Or-
horse tail.
I wore this kayaking. I have kayak now, and now I have a ponytail.
I want you to hairspray it up.
And I'm in an existential crisis.
Fair or foul? Fair or
Alright.
foul? Gardner's new favorite hobby, Travis, kayaking.
Uh-huh.
I think kayaking is sweet. I go fair. I'm so proud of you, Gardner. Getting out there to become an outdoorsman. I'm so impressed.
Well, you
fair.
know-
Foul. Canoeing is better.
No, it's not. You got more control over the kayak. And like I started kayaking the first, like really when I stopped drinking because I was looking for things to do. So I'm like, oh, you know what?
I'm just,
I've never gone
gonna,
over to Forest
I'm
Park.
just gonna row and row and row and row until all
It's
of my demons go
relaxing.
away.
You row the demons away for a period of time, and then they come back, and then you deal with it again.
Fair or foul? Black mermaids.
Fair. Fucking fair. I
I don't
saw.
know. Chris is kind of biting his bottom lip.
Can
No,
I?
I just think it's hilarious. I actually love stoking the fire, and I haven't said a word about it, but like, it's the funniest thing in the world to me that anyone would care. But then I also think there's a fair amount of people acting like people actually care. So it's been interesting to say the least. And no, I don't give a damn what some mythical fake cartoon is, and if it's what the place wants to do to cast it, then cast away. I don't care. Cast away with the black guy.
I
Do that.
saw a Facebook post from somebody I went to high school last night with, and you want to know what their argument was? They go, "Hey, how would you feel if we recast Black Panther as a white guy?" That was their argument.
Yeah, we've heard that one before.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
at all.
But do we, truthfully, and if
This
you,
guy
if
meant
you
it.
could
This
show
guy
me,
100% meant
if you
it.
could show me examples like Tommy just did, I'll hear you out all day long. I just don't think that credible, normal people
No,
are
no.
rattling the pans or care, and probably anyone that you would care about their opinion is going to be like, all right, cool, like that's about it.
But did you see who
That's
they
the
cast
only
as,
reaction to have.
who's getting cast as Ursula probably?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. Okay.
She's hilarious.
Okay.
You don't like that?
It's fine.
What do you?
I just don't see her as Ursula.
She's so talented.
Okay.
She's so good.
I think ultimately, I think when it comes to casting, Disney is probably as good as any studio. And I know before Gardner calls me a slave to the House of Mouse,
Travis,
which I know he's
I
waiting
would-
to do.
I would not use that phrasing, number one, because then you'd yell at me. By the way, I had a black guy call me a hoe over my break too. Just
Yeah,
so
you
you
are.
know.
So
Yeah,
look at that little.
because I looked over
look at that little
I looked
ponytail.
over my shoulder twice while he was walking behind me, but he was walking right behind my right shoulder, and I'm like, "There's no one else around. Back off a little, man."
And he called you a hoe?
He called me a hoe. He said, "Not all black people are bad. You hoe, I'll slap you." And I'm like, "You're over my right shoulder. Like, just back off a little bit. That's all." And it's weird when you're right up on someone and there's no one around.
You should have played some. You should have played some R&B. Maybe you would have became friends.
Yeah. That's it. What do I do here? Oh no, what do I? Oh, play Al Green. That's my go-to. Al Green. Al Green.
I have a fair foul for Chris.
Please.
The Walking Dead.
Comic or TV
Oh
show?
wow, comic.
Yeah, that's a piece of news that we didn't get to.
No
Finally,
spoilers,
some
no
some
spoilers.
dorkery that I can get into. Walking Dead Comics announced that their episode issue 193 would be their last, and
It's like a triple issue, so there's 195 issues.
Yep. I enjoy the decision, and I am okay with the way they ended it. And it's yeah, I think more people should be
I thought
okay with that. Travis made a great point
Did
about
they
Stranger
did they
Things.
did they at least figure out how it all happened?
They've stated.
they
I don't
got
want to. It's kind of a spoiler,
They got
but
ideas.
they've
Okay, then never
stated
mind.
since the
If it's-
beginning you'll never know.
They did in the TV show, but it was kind of a cop out.
Well, then they got mad about that. Either way,
Yeah,
in the
it's-
comics, they've been hard and fast on you'll never know
I
what
say
caused it.
I say foul just because I thought of Tommy immediately when I saw
I
that. and
that was
felt
the
bad.
first thing I did. I woke up at like 1:30 and I texted Chris. I was like, dude, what happened?
For you guys calling me a jock and and faux acting like I'm MAGA, I sure have a real nerdy text exchange with this intern.
You guys should
We
see
don't
our
speak to
text.
each other like co-owner or whatever, an intern. He speaks to me like an equal when we're talking about this. And
we would look at it and be
we-
like, we don't know what any of this means.
I called him Discount Hopper the other day. And he was like, yeah, totally.
I got a fair foul. We'll end with this one maybe.
Okay,
Sorry, Tommy, but I'm gonna have to go
it's okay.
a little this way. I gotta play a video first for it. Is that okay?
Uh-oh. Okay.
Here you go. Salute to America.
The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
So, fair foul. Revolutionary War airports.
We also manned the air.
I think
They're called docks.
he is the most. I think he's the most American president we're ever going to have.
the memes and jokes, like, again, whether it's Obama or I don't even like. I don't want it to come across like I'm taking up for him. Whenever, like, when you talk, although this George Washington as a fighter pilot, it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. When you talk all the time, Travis, you can admit this too. When you talk all the time. There's just so many great memes.
My dearest Abigail,
Keep an eye on
yesterday
the
we
right. Go
began
ahead.
our assault on Newark International Airport. We lost many brave men near baggage claim, but managed to take the high ground on Concourse B near the Cinnabon. I hope to be coming home soon. Keep an eye on me on the horizon for my Uber X. Your loving husband, Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you.
What were you saying, Chris?
That's a British accent.
So, when you talk all the time, if everything you say is magnified, like the dumb Travis, think about our psychotic 3-hour, just me and you evening radio shows. Some of the content we would get into when we had 3 things wrote down to talk about, no guests, and 3 hours to talk on a nightly basis. If those were put on if a sentence from those were put on billboards, we would look like psychopaths.
We gotta stop. This was off a teleprompter.
That's my point. That's my point. So
You
I
also
wanted
don't have
I want to
keys
bring
to
it back
nukes.
around. Correct. So I want to bring it back around. So at points I would cut
Enrique?
or other people breaks. But the magnitude of that office that you sit in and the just the lack of care and the sloppiness that continues to go into this stuff, that and Travis, I'll say it for you. If other people said it, would just be nailed to a cross over it, and then people will go by. I should say the people that skip over caring about the dumb stuff like that he says, they're annoying, and I think they're a minority. But I got to be careful when I say minority when talking about him too. No, I think they're a minority of the general population, but at the same time, what is
And believe it or not, coyotes.
what is happening?
Coyote.
Like I said, I think he'll go down as the most American president. I think someone who embraces ignorance, who hates history, who hates majority of Americans.
Science.
This is what you get. Hates science, hates facts, hates half his wives. I don't even know if he loves all of his children. But I think
Doesn't like Eric.
poor Tiffany. Is Tiffany ever invited to anything? Someone please check on Tiffany, for Christ's sake.
Who's
But I think
Exactly.
what you exactly. Tommy doesn't even know who Tiffany is.
Wait, is that one of his
freaking
kids?
daughter.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought he only had
Yes.
4.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, man.
Barron, you have Ivanka, you have Eric, you have Don Jr., you have Tiffany.
Yeah.
My favorite
And
is
so I think what we saw, I think to Chris's point, and it's kind of the overall theme of what we said earlier. Look, if you're going to be the guy that talks mad shit, you got to be able to take it when it comes back your way. And so, yeah, I think we're being kind of, silly, and we're being petty a bit. By the way, Jason Isbell, slowly but surely, warming up. He's warming up to me, guys.
Oh, he's not fake woke country anymore?
He's slowly warming up. I'm starting to like this
Read
kid.
that tweet, Gardner.
But
Let's do an episode of Drunk History, but the guy telling the story hasn't had anything to drink, and he's the president of the United States.
By the way, Jason Isbell gets Twitter. If you watch him,
he's so good at it.
This is what happens when people are sober. He tries hard at being funny at Twitter. I'm not saying that in a negative way. He's very engaging on Twitter.
He's also one of my favorite songwriters.
Very good.
But I thought it was. I want to thank God. I know we don't do that enough here on this show, but I want to thank God for sending the rains and the winds to DC on the 4th. Because that was entertainment at its highest level. And I'm so happy that it turned out to be a complete cluster mess. And he got what he deserved that on Thursday. And I think everyone in attendance got what they deserved. And yeah, I was very happy with how that all turned out.
I was on the 4th, Travis. I was at a friend's house, a retired judge, and a predominantly black cookout for the 4th is where I was.
Oh, nice.
And
that's where he got called a hoe.
She is not a fan of the president, and I saw an alert that said the Capitol lawn was being evacuated due to lightning strikes. And I told her. She took a puff off her cigarette and just started smiling and laughing. And I was like, that's nice. That's what I would have my reaction to.
Billy Fat Pants correcting us. It's Isbell. I feel weird when you say that, too, because Isbell sounds better, but yeah, it is Isbell. So there it is. Guys,
Isbell? I've been saying Isbell.
Everyone does it, but he pronounces it Isbell. It is what it is. But, yeah, check out his music. He's a national treasure.
Tweets first. Tweets first.
Tweets first, then music. Exactly. Guys, it's been a great show. Travis is in New York. We're here in St. Louis. If you haven't yet, hit share on the stream. We're going to be back all week long. We've got some fun guests lined up. Tommy, what do you have going on tonight?
Tonight, I will be at the Funny Bone performing in their Funniest Person competition. So if you guys want to come out to that, I highly suggest it. It'll be funny, and I'm going to be funny, and it'll be a good show because I'm not the only great comic on there.
So can we make a bet that if Tommy doesn't go on to the next round, you cannot show up to the show for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So wait.
Nope.
Does Travis not know?
Is Tommy going on vacation?
He will be soon.
He's going squatching.
Yeah. Tomorrow as well, we'll have Jen Langosh in studio.
Ooh, that's a big get.
Yeah, so we'll talk some.
What's her title currently? Editor for MLB.com?
Editor for MLB.com. She'll be in to talk about what she's doing now, what she has done, and also be the match drive at Busch Stadium this Saturday, which also you can find hashtag Join for Joe in honor of Joe Strauss.
Wow.
But we'll be at I'll actually be volunteering this Saturday at the ballpark.
Look at you kayaking, volunteering.
Yeah, I said I was in an existential crisis for like 20 years, but I mean that's beside.
It's hitting its peak.
Yeah, we're almost 40, Tommy. I called it a midlife crisis, and someone's like, "That's a little optimistic." What you think?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Midlife. That's it. That's all I got.
All right, guys, it's been a great show. Check out past episodes online, and be sure to turn a friend on to our Friends of WAL group. Travis, we'll see you, buddy.
Peace.
Later, everybody. Back tomorrow live at 8 a.m.